Somewhere in the desert, an Abba sits with his children. Under the night sky, the millions of stars, because that's what you can see in the middle of the desert, where there's no other light except the campfire, the dark blue sky, the stillness of the night, and the infinite spaces of the horizon and the starlit sky. And children, they ask the questions at this time, in this place. Abba, how did everything begin? How did everything begin? What was before everything that we know? Who was there in the beginning? What was it like? And Abba takes a deep breath and with the permission of his Abba and his Abba's Abba and his Abba's Abba and all the Ima'ot, he tries to answer. And this is what he says. Before everything, before all of this, before the stars, before the earth, before all of creation, everything that we know, before you, before me, before our families, there was darkness. And it wasn't just the darkness of the nighttime. It wasn't just the darkness without the sun and the stars. It was a scary, scary darkness. It was a darkness of where there was just chaos. Things might have existed, but there was no purpose. Nothing made any sense. There was nothing you can depend on. You did not know of a past. You would not have known of a future. You wouldn't even known the present. There was nothing. Nothing to depend on. And it was all just chaos. It didn't make sense. It was dark. Dark, dark, and scary. And that's where Hashem was. And Hashem saw this darkness. And saw that there was no purpose and no rhyme, no reason, no order, no nothing. And Hashem started to create. And Hashem knew that one of the most important things in all creation would be words, would be the word. Because we have to depend on words. You depend on my word when I promise something. And I depend and trust in your word when you say something. We need to depend for creation to be, for all this to be, we need to depend. To count on things being the way that they are. And let me ask you, how do you build words? What do you build words with? That's right, the Aleph Bet. So Hashem took all of the Aleph Bet. He started with Aleph and went through to the middle for Mem. And continued on all the way to Tav. And that's how Hashem started to create. He created the first word that was made up of all of the Aleph Bet. Because we needed something to depend on. And that word was Emet. Aleph, Mem, Tav. Emet, which means truth in English. We needed to depend on the truth. And that was the start. And Hashem took Emet. And with Emet, Hashem drew the light from the darkness. And there started to be order and purpose. And that light which is the light of purpose, was the first thing that Hashem created. So we can depend on Emet. We can depend on truth. We can depend on each other. Let me ask you. What do you depend on? What do you need to depend on more than even the sun coming up in the morning and the stars out at night and the moon going through its phases? What do you depend on? What is truth for you? What is Emet? What is the foundation for all of creation? So it is built on the rock of Hashem. And Hashem saw this light and saw that it was good. And then there was the setting. And then there was the rising. The first day.